All right, welcome to this page of the notes. Here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to work through a couple of these absolute value equation problems together. That way we're experiencing them at the same time. It'll be a great way to learn how to do these. Remember, we said you will need to solve two equations. You will need to solve a positive and a negative version. And I'm going to try to do them in different colors for you here, just so that you can see the difference. I'm going to do this first one right over here. We'll do the positive in red. Let me get that set up. The positive version will be exactly the way it's written. X minus 100 is equal to 20. Let me do the negative version. I'll do that one right over here. I'll do it in green. And the way we're going to take care of the negative version, I just need to add a minus sign in front of the 20. So we'll have x minus 100 is equal to a negative 20. Equal to a negative 20. I now have the positive version. I now have the negative version. We're going to solve both of these, and we will get both solutions. Let's do this one first. Well, I have a negative 100. In order to solve for x, I need to move the 100 to the other side, and addition will do that for me. I'll add 100 to both sides of the equation, and x will be equal to a positive 120. Over here on this side, once again, I have minus 100. I'm going to need to add 100 to both sides in order to move it. That leaves me with an x is equal to, careful here, this is now a minus 20, not a positive 20. Negative 20 plus 100 leaves me with positive 80. Now you need to be careful with these problems. This is a simple one, so both solutions do work, but they won't always work. So we are going to need to check our answers just to make sure. Let's do a little bit of mental math because we love mental math. It's good to get a little bit of practice here. We're going to take 120. We're going to plug it into the original problem and see what we get. 120 minus 100. Well, 120 minus 100 is 20. Take the absolute value of 20, you get 20, and yes, 20 is equal to 20. So that one checks out. Let's try the other one. I plug in an 80. Well, 80 minus 100 is a negative 20. But I'm going to take the absolute value of that. The absolute value of negative 20 is 20. 20 will be equal to 20. That solution checks out. They're both good. You found both of them. Listen, if you feel comfortable with this, move on to the next examples, give them a try on your own, then come on back, check to see how they went. If you still are unsure of this, don't worry. Let's do another one. Here we go. We're going to do the exact same thing for this one. Its absolute value. We'll need to solve two equations, so let's take care of that. I'll do it this. Now, you know what? We don't need this separate colors. We got this. Here's the positive. Here's the negative. Let's go. 9 is equal to x plus 12. Oh, if you're wondering, I apologize, I should have mentioned this earlier. If you're wondering, why am I now dropping the absolute value? I'm dropping the absolute value because I no longer need it. I'm taking care of both the positive and the negative version, and so the absolute value signs are no longer needed in order to solve these equations. So I drop the absolute value. This is my positive version written as is. The negative one, I need to make the 9 negative. Everything else will be written as is without the absolute value. Solve both equations. Let's see what we get. I'll have to subtract 12 from both sides, which means a 9 minus 12 is going to be negative 3. That's equal to x. I don't like it written that way. Symmetric property flips it. I get x is equal to a negative 3. Over here on the other side, I'll need to subtract 12. Negative 9 minus 12 is going to be a minus 21. I don't like it like that. Symmetric property to flip it. X is equal to a negative 21. Awesome. There's both my answers, but now remember, you do need to check these answers because one of them might not be right. So here we go, negative 3. I plug in a negative 3. Negative 3 plus 12 is 9. The absolute value of 9 is 9, and I have 9 is equal to 9. That one checks out. Let's try the negative 21. Plug in a negative 21. Negative 21 plus 12 is a minus 9. Take the absolute value of a minus 9, you get 9, and 9 will be equal to 9. Checks out. Hopefully you're okay with these two problems and the way they work. They're going to get slightly trickier as we move on to subsequent pages here in the notes. So if you're all set with these ones, head on over to the next page. I'll meet you there.